welcome to today's video. Today we're doing a full face of NYX and I'm already wearing the stuff that's on my face, but well, had to get ready with me in just a little bit. I wanted to show you some of the things I'm using. So I'm using this ultimate eyeshadow palette with a lot of greens, and I'm using this nice highlighter palette. And I have a lot of base products and a lip and other things that I'll be using today. And by the end of the video, I hope to let you know what of these things are worth it. And I also, I have been testing them for a little bit longer. But you can see them in action and see if there's something you'd like to pick up. And otherwise, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please give a like or a comment if you do like this video. And please subscribe. And let's get into the get ready with me portion of today's video. So today we're going to do a full face of NYX Cosmetics, and I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palettes, and I have two choices. I have this bright one and I have this purple green one, and I thought we could do a combination of the two and do a green look, and then we're also going to use a little bit of glitter. So let me zoom you in and let's get started. I'm going to start with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer because I don't have one from NYX and this is my usual one. Okay, we're going to start with the Ultimate palette because it has this nice light green in it, and I'm going to use that in the crease. It pulls a little bit more yellow on the eyes, but it is a nice shade. But they're pigmented enough and they do build a little bit, and especially over a white concealer or something like a sticky base, they do really pack quite a punch. From the two palettes, I do like the green one a little bit more than the editorial one, in case you were wondering. There, that's our base. Now I'm going into the green purple palette, and I'm taking a small pencil brush, this one from Too Faced, and I'm going into this dark green over here, which pulls a little bit more teal, but combined with the olive green, it'll be a bit more green. And we need something dark for the outer corner. So I'm taking this in the outer corner and then blending it over the crease a little bit. And I think I'm going to wing it out just a little bit. Like that. I like that shape. Now I'm going back with my original fluffy brush and I'm picking up a little bit more of the first olive green shade to blend out the edges. And then I think I'm going to build it up just a little bit more with the pencil brush, just in the outer corner. Now on the lid, I think I want to use this green one and then layer a little bit of the golden glitter on top of it. And to do that, I'm going to use my glitter primer twice. I have this NYX glitter primer and it's a little bit different than the glitter glue, but it does also work for glitters. It's just a little bit less intense. And I see a lot of people on YouTube use this for any kind of shimmer shade underneath, just to make it pop a little bit more, and that's what we're going to do. So now the glitter primer is down. And I'm going to take this nice backing brush, which has a little bit of a point, which means I can apply the glitter shade a little bit more precisely. It has a lot of gold in it, this green shade. And I'm taking the remainder on the brush just a little bit over the darker green to make a smooth transition. But there's no glitter primer there, so it shouldn't be too intense. I think this is why I like this palette so much more. The other one is just a little bit one-dimensional. All the shades are mid-range and this one has lighter and darker shades. So it has a couple of nice deep shades and I always like that. You can go the purple route or the green route with this, and they have some nice shimmers in this one. So from the two, I definitely recommend this green palette actually. Yes, that's nice. Now let's see, do we need some glitter? I think so. Yeah, it's possible. I have this white glitter here, but it's a little bit golden when you put it on your eyes. I also have a silver and a lavender one, but they're not really appropriate for this look. I really like these glitters. These are actually the first things I bought from NYX, I believe. So we're going to take our glitter primer again, and this time just add a little bit on top of the green shimmer we just applied. Not too much that it covers up, but just enough that it sticks a little bit. There's always a little bit on top of the little can, and I just use that. Just like that, just a little layer. I think it actually also has a green shift, so this is perfect. It really matches the other green very well. Nice! I never would have combined these two if it wasn't for this video. Let's see if there's any fallout. Yeah, there is some glitter fallout on my cheeks, which is to be expected because we didn't really pack on the eye primer. So I'm going to take a little wipe and clean up the under eyes. So now we're going to work on the rest of the face makeup first before coming back to the eyes. I have a couple of face products from NYX, and for starters I have the High Glass Primer, and I really like this one. I've raved about it in another video recently, and I think this gives a nice sheen to the face without being too oily, so it's a little bit more of a gel texture. So I think it's nice. It gives a little bit of glow for underneath your foundation. I was actually wondering if this might be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, because I feel like it does the same thing. See, it does give quite a bit of glow, The only difference is this only comes in one shade. So my preference would be that this was a little bit lighter. And I believe for most people it will be a little bit too light. So that's my one complaint. But it's mainly the glow you see. So I like to use this primer underneath my little bit more thick or matte foundations. And I think it's a nice combination. Today we're going to combine it with the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation from NYX. I must say, I wasn't overly impressed by this foundation when I used it on its own. I even thought about doing a review on it, but it's already been out for quite a while. So I didn't do that, so I decided to do that, to put it into this video. The color is nice. And it's not bad, it's just a little bit streaky when you apply it and you have to really work with it. But then it's okay. And I think I never tried it on top of this primer. So that's what we're going to try. And let's see how streaky it is. Okay, it seems very light, but the primer was actually darkening my skin a little bit. So it's really not that bad. I'm going to do my face and then we can take a closer look. So that's one layer. You can see the primer peeking through, so that's nice. It doesn't really cover up that much of all my imperfections, which is actually surprising to me. I remember it being a little bit more full coverage, but I guess it's not. Let me come closer. You see how it's around my nose? It doesn't really blend in very well. So, yeah, it's not my favorite. Let me do the rest of my face. Okay, so I used a little bit less on this half of my face and I think it does look a little bit better. It's a little bit more natural, a little bit less coverage, but also a little bit less thick. So yeah, I think if you apply just a little bit and use the right primer underneath, it's okay. It's actually not that bad. If you apply too much, so just keep that in mind. Oh, if you were wondering, I have the shade. Okay, it doesn't say the shade on this, but I believe it's the 1-2 lightest. So there's actually even a lighter shade of this one, which is nice. I'm usually very pale. I've been going out for running lately, and I think it tanned me a little bit. Because over the summer I did not get a tan at all because I didn't really go outside. And if I did, I was using a lot of sunscreen, but in the winter I usually just don't. So when I do go out, and I actually go out a lot, I don't use sunscreen, so I get a little bit of a tan. I believe I bought this in summer and it was a better shade match for me then than it is now, which is a little bit funny. Okay, let's go into concealer. For concealer I have the HD Studio Photogenic concealer. I believe they also have the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, and I don't know, I have this one. I can't tell you much about the other one. Other people use it a lot and they seem to like it. I only used this one a couple of times because I bought it for the sake of this video. And I wanted to, try it out together. The first thing I noticed with this one, it's a little bit too dark for me, unfortunately. And it's a little bit too yellowy, peachy. You see? Did I accidentally buy the color corrector? It says concealer and then correcteur in French. In the shade Porcelain. This was the lightest one they had, so I believe it's a little bit lighter than the foundation, and it's definitely darker, and it's definitely darker than the lightest foundation they have, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. I always like the brightening effect. Let's see how this works. This does blend out very easily. And when I blend it out, it isn't that dark and not that peachy, so maybe the color is alright. It just doesn't do any brightening, but that's okay. See, the concealer is actually nice. Not that high coverage. You can still kind of see some darkness here. But that's okay. Nothing bad to say about it, except for the shade range. Okay, now for powder. I don't have their setting powder, but I do have their finishing powder. And I actually don't really like using this as a finishing powder because it's too thick. It covers up too much of your other makeup. So I like using this as a setting powder, so that's what we're going to do. I also have this NYX powder brush. I didn't even realize that. And this powder is actually quite nice. See, it picks up very easily. They also have other shades. So they have a banana and they have a translucent. And then they have some darker shades. And I picked out the porcelain, I believe. Yes. And I think also this could have been a little bit lighter for me. Maybe I should have picked up the translucent. But it is a nice powder. See, it doesn't take away the shine on my forehead completely. And it adds a little bit more coverage. So this is actually not bad. But I would usually not use this over top of my concealer because it would darken a little bit. But today it's fine. Yes! I actually don't mind the foundation now that everything is applied. Okay, I don't have any bronzer or blush from NYX, so I'm going to apply that off camera. So I finished my bronzer, blush, and I added some eyebrow pen because I actually do have an eyebrow gel from NYX. This is okay. I think it got a little bit better over time. When I first got it, I wasn't impressed. But now, as you can see, it does lift my eyebrow hairs just a little bit and put them in place. So this is my clear brow gel. I usually use a colored one, but whenever I go a little bit heavy with the eyebrow pencil or pen, I like to use a clear brow gel. And then I use this one. Doesn't do anything extreme, but it is nice and it is affordable. Then I also have a highlighter palette. The Love Lust Disco palette. This came out about a year ago. And most of these shades I can't use as highlighter because they're a little bit too dark. I really like using this lavender highlighter. And then this golden one can also be special from time to time. And I recently found out that this bit of a copper one over here actually suits my skin tone as well. I really would love to be able to use this orange one, but it's just not for me. So let's apply a little bit of the brown one at the end. It's almost a little bit see-through. It's like, it's not that much of a base, it's more only the sheen. And then if you build it up, it's a little bit more of a champagne. It's actually quite nice. Then I also like to put a little bit on the bridge of my nose and the ball of my nose. A little bit on top of the cupid's bow and then the remainder on the chin. Now we're also going to go into the golden one and add a little bit of that one on top. I really like this highlighter palette. I'm not sure what I'll use the red colors for. Maybe for eyeshadow or blush topper, or if I'm ever going to do makeup on someone else, maybe I'll use it then. But this is a nice palette. Now let's finish up the eyes. I'm going to take this little smudger brush and I'm going into the colorful palette. And I think I'm going into this bright green over here, just to make the whole look seem a little bit more green. And I'm just going to smudge that underneath the complete lower lash line, connecting it to the wing on top. And then we're going to take a little bit of the dark green from the other palette and use that just to deepen up the outer part of the lower lash line. Now time to put on some mascara. Oh wait, haha! I do have a green eye pencil, which we are going to use right now. Can't believe I almost forgot that. It's a nice apple green, which really adds a fun, colorful element to any kind of green look. I'm going to add some Givenchy mascara. And I don't think I'm going to add any lashes today because I'm quite content with the way this is looking. Now all you have to do is put on a lip. And I actually have two, but I can't find one. So yeah, that's great. I actually have a green lipstick, which is sort of a teal green color. And I don't think this is the right look for that anyway. So I also have this more apricot one. So let's just use that one. This is called From Dusk to Dawn. I think this is a pretty cool combination. Maybe it's a little bit much. This is a lot brighter than I remember, but okay. Let's zoom you out a little bit. So this is the finished look. I really like how it came out. I'm especially happy that the glitter matches the eyeshadow so well. And I really liked all the products I was using, but the foundation was, as usual, giving me a little bit of trouble. So if anything, I wouldn't recommend that one, but everything else seems alright. And most of these things I have been using for a long time and I have really been loving. So I wouldn't mind picking up a bronzer and a blush and maybe a setting spray or something to complete my full face of NYX for the next time. But for now, this'll do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed playing with all these products. I always like putting putting the stuff I own from a brand together in one video and figuring out how the brand behaves as a whole. And I think NYX really passed this test. So let me know if you'd like to see more of these products, if you maybe like to see a colorful look using this product. I could do something like a cut crease or something. Or if you want to see something else, let me know. Maybe subscribe if you like this video, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one. Bye!